Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are going to try out the new Colourpop and C3PO palette. I have it here in front of me. We are going to see if this is any good or if this is just merch with horrible shadows in there. I don't think so though, because these look very promising. Not gonna lie, I am a big Star Wars fan, so I am so excited to see more Star Wars makeup. So let's dive in, let's do some swatches, let's try it out. And if you haven't been here before, do consider subscribing because I do upload at least 5 videos a week. This being a bonus video, and we have another bonus video tomorrow, so if you like makeup content, this is the place to be. This was sent to me as PR by Colourpop, and it comes in this beautiful little box, which is the same as the palette. Looks exactly the same. It's just such a cute little palette. These are $16, just as the other 9-pan Star Wars collabs have been before. It has a beautiful cover with like matte and shiny details together, which I really like. And on the inside, it is a mix of matte and shimmers, but mostly shimmers. Makes sense. This is a gold droid after all. I honestly kind of like that they just went this route and just did colors that's actually the droid. I know someone said in the comments that they should have done a red arm for when he was broken and needed, like, I'm happy they didn't do that. Don't put a mistake in my palette. He's not supposed to have a red arm. He is supposed to be this color. This is his final form, so I'm actually kind of happy they didn't do that and save the red for other droids, for other characters. And I actually think that first, when I saw this one, I was like, oh, it's beiges and golds. But one of these golds is actually very, very yellow. So I think this could be really impactful on the eyes. And both this matte here and this matte here actually looks pretty mustard. So I think that if we tweak this a little bit, it could end up being my favorite combo when it comes to neutral shadows. If you haven't been in before, I'm not the biggest fan of neutrals. I rarely use neutrals. Would not have picked this palette up myself had it not had C3PO on it. I probably would not have done a dedicated video on it had it not been Star Wars. I love Star Wars. But one of my favorite combos when it comes to neutral makeup, if not my favorite combo, is yellows with browns. And I think that we will be able to make that. I also am really excited that they put, oh my, on the mirror. I'm loving it. We are currently, me and my husband, watching everything in Star Wars chronologically from the beginning to the end, and we are currently at the end of season 2 of Rebels. So we're just chugging through everything. I'm super excited to get to Andor because I still haven't seen Andor. I just really love Star Wars, and yeah, this is a collector's item for me. I wanted to quickly show you because right now they actually have all their Star Wars palettes in stock, and Colourpop did send this to me in PR. Like I said, I do have a code with Colourpop. My code is Angelica, and right now it gives you $5 off a $20 or more order. I'm hoping that in the future I'll be able to convert that to a 10% off, but $5 off a $20 or more order, or is it 25? I'm not 100% sure. I should probably look into this, but you'll notice if it works or not. It's actually a really good percentage if you're not making a super big order. Thank you for using my code. It really does help out, and it really shows Colourpop as well that you are interested in seeing me do Colourpop videos so that they can see that you came from my channel. This is the palette that they started with. This is the child palette from the Mandalorian series. This is a really, really beautiful palette. It's just cool tone greens and neutrals. Honestly, a really, really pretty palette, and I'm very excited that they continue the series after this success. Then they did the Mandalorian, and I really like this palette as well. I don't think the quality of this one is as good as the other Star Wars palettes that I've tried. This one is decent. Wait, let me rephrase this. This isn't bad quality, but some of the mattes are a little hard pressed, so you have to do a little bit more dig in to get pigment. But once you have it on the eyes, it looks beautiful. It's not a bad palette, but they're a little bit more hard pressed than I would prefer in shadows. If you try this palette, you probably know what I mean. Really love that there's a duochrome in here. This is more of a cool tone neutral palette. And then they came out with the Darth Vader palette. So this is Anakin's palette. Well, Anakin is dead. This is Darth Vader. Well, Darth Vader is dead too. You know where I'm getting from. There is a very, very dark gray, almost black. There is a black with red shimmer. There is a dark burgundy. There is a red shimmer. And then there's just a bunch of taupes. I think that they did this color story justice, but I personally don't like grays on me. So for that reason, my favorite shadow in this palette is this one here. This one is great quality, but not my favorite color scheme. This one I really love, and they did restock this as well. And this is the Star Wars palette. This is the bigger one. How many are these? I think these are 15 shadows. This is a mix of colors and neutrals, lights and darks. They have a couple of super shocks. It's just a really beautiful palette. I really think that they did good on this palette. It is based on this the whole original cast with the, you know, the light, dark, you know, the red lightsabers and the blue lightsabers and the like the light and I just really think that they did a good job with this palette. I will try and remember to leave some videos down below where I'm showing you these palettes as well, because they're all available now on the website, and they also have some bundles. But enough talking about that, let's go in and use this one. I just wanted to show you the other Star Wars palettes as well. They also have some other things like lipsticks and lip masks. Is it lip masks? Oh, lip oils, that's what they had, and some eyeliners. I don't know if all of that is in stock as well, but I will leave a link down below where you can check all the things that they have available now with the Star Wars on the Colourpop site. So let's zoom in, let's dig in. If you're interested in anything that I'm talking about or anything that's on my face, check the description box. All the answers to all your questions is usually always in the description box. So I'm thinking the main matte in this look is going to be this one down here that is called Companion. So I am just gonna put that all in my crease, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably gonna match my lipstick really well. I love a nice mustard lipstick as well. And did you notice my earrings? Did I talk about them already? They're so cute. I will link the business down below that they are from. I got them as a gift. I don't know if she has these exactly, but when I got these, she had a bunch of different Star Wars things. Where do you buy your like Star Wars like t-shirts and stuff like that in the US? Because I would like to buy another one, because I have a bunch and I really enjoy wearing them, because like I love Star Wars, but I don't know exactly what's the best place to find cute stuff like that in the US. I would love to get some suggestions. Please let me know in the comments where you get like, where do you get your nerdy clothes from? Listen, if they have like computer gaming stuff as well, like clothes with like, I don't know, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Samus Aran, like I'm all for that as well. If you have somewhere, please let me know. I am very intrigued. That is a beautiful color. I'm not packing it on because I want to add the dark color as well. But yeah, that actually looks really nice, like a really nice mustard. I think I will be blending it out, oops, with this one. It's called Tatooine. I mean, that is where he is built. It's like his home base. Everyone's from Tatooine, right? Everyone wants to be in the desert. Yeah, that's a really nice. I'm using very little just to blend on the edge. I mean, at the core of this, I want this to be a very mustard leaning and dramatic neutral look. That is what I am hoping to do with this. And so far, I really think we'll be able to do that. These are really beautiful. So I have been adding this mustard under my eyes and in my crease, and I have been blending it out with a little bit of this lighter mustard just on the top here. And honestly, I think it looks great. I think it looks really beautiful. We are gonna use, this is called programming. Oh my god, I cannot read because it's like dark yellow on mid yellow. And my eyes are not what they used to be, but we're gonna deepen up with that. That one had a little bit of fallout in the pan, so I'm just gonna tap it off a little bit so that we don't get too much at once, because I don't want this to be like too much at once. I don't want to cover up the yellow. I want to accentuate the yellow. I don't want it to like be covered up with a brown, but oh, I love a brown and a yellow together. I don't know. I mean, you can even see my nails. I'm living for this like 70s color scheme, and I have been like this past like what, 2 years or something. It's my calling. I love it. Remember how I said that I was gonna keep this not too dramatic? Yeah, I remember that too, but then things just escalated, and here are the results. I will say, really loving how these colors go together. I feel like all of these colors have a good undertone, so they really blend out to each other and give that warm mustardy undertone, like they work together. Even though I ended up doing this maybe a little bit more dramatic than needed, but I feel like that's the story of this channel. The story of this channel is, did this really need to be that dramatic? And the answer is always yes. I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put this one and probably this one as well. You can see it's a little darker. So I'm gonna put this one on the entire lid. And then I'm gonna put the darker one, this one, just on the outer part towards the brown. And then I think maybe, I don't know. We'll take the inner corner. We'll wing it. Famous last words. Doing this like middle gold, it is called Translator, which makes sense. I will spray this. I always spray all my shimmers because I want them to have the best chance, and I also feel like that brings less fallout because I always have a tendency of packing it on. Oh, I like that. That looks nice. It is very yellowy. So it's like an extremely yellowy gold, which makes it just a little better in my book. I mean, that looks very dramatic. So I am gonna put that all the way in on my lid and just blend that into the crease a bit. So it's looking a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna do the same on the other eye, and then I'll use a little bit of that darker one just out here so that we can make it somehow make sense, because one of the things that is my pet peeves when it comes to looks with shimmers and mattes is when you have this very visible edge. I personally don't like that. Okay, so this one now that's called Etiquette. I'm taking a little bit of that and I am just gonna put that out here on the outer part. I will say, is there a difference between these two? I mean, a little bit, but it's very minimal. Honestly, I think that this Etiquette seems a little bit more foiled, like the other one. It's like they're not exactly the same formula, which could be fun. And now with the same small brush as I had that dark brown, I am just blending a little bit with some extra brown on the edge to just make them blend together a little bit and make it just a little bit more believable. You can see it's just flowing a little bit more. I just don't want this super shoppy. I'm not trying to make perfection. I'm just doing the best I can with what has been given to me. So with the pencil brush that I used before, I'm gonna clean up some of that darker mustard. I am gonna use the Tatooine color, and we're gonna try and see if we push this. Because I saw someone of a deeper skin tone use this in an Instagram tutorial, and on her it looked like a very bright highlighter, but I realized that like it's not going to be the same on me because obviously we do not have the same skin tone, but I still thought that it looked really cool on her. So I think we're going to do this, and I'm going to use a little bit of the golden one, which is this lighter, almost more pale gold, and I'll just brush a little bit of that on top without spraying it so that this one becomes just a little bit more of a satin or a traditional shimmer and not necessarily like foiled, because that's what happens when you like spray it. And I just spray, where is it? I just spray with whatever setting spray I have in front of me just to bring it some extra life. Really like how that is looking. Oh, I do have here in front of me, I know I had it because I used it yesterday. Here it is. It's one of those for whites by NYX. This is in vanilla, so it's like a almost white yellow, and I think that's gonna be perfection on the waterline. I love the contrast of a really bright like waterline. If you don't, just use something that's maybe brown or something that's like your skin color, that a nude for you, but I love the brightness, so I'm gonna keep it like this. I love how this looks. So yeah, let me finish this look up. Let me actually put on some mascara and I can show you what it looks like before lashes. I know some of you really love that, and sometimes I forget and I apologize. So this is the look with just the mascara on and of course the liner and everything. I really like it. I think it is bright enough. It's still a neutral look because it is like browns and yellows. I do have a, is there a cat hair? I feel like I have a fuzzy. So it's just my mustache. It could also be that. Don't come for me, but it's bright enough, and it is that like very like prominent yellow undertone that makes it for me an interesting neutral look. So I actually really like this. I really like this. I like neutrals that are very yellow leaning, and the fact that a neutral palette that I like is also C3PO, I'm excited about that. And I also feel like if I were to mix this with Rebirth from my palette with Oden the Hella palette, which is that really pastel yellow, and put that in the inner corner, we would have like a true winner. So I'm excited about this look. Let me put on some falsies and we can have a final chat. I'm all ready, I'm all dolled up, and I will say I'm excited. I'm excited about this makeup look. I'm excited about this palette, and I think that this might be one of my new favorite neutral palettes, only because it has those mustards together with that dark brown, and because it all looks so good together. And take this with a little bit of like a grain of salt, because I am not the biggest fan of neutrals, and for me to want neutrals, it has to be either super dramatic or super grungy or very mustard leaning, which this one is. And I like how this looks. I think this is really nice. I mean, I like the quality of this one a lot. I just didn't love the color scheme, and with this one, I really like this. I thought this was fun. I thought this was good. Again, remember, I am a big fan of Star Wars. Had I not been sent this palette in PR, I would have bought it myself because I really do love Star Wars. But had this palette not had C3PO on it, I would probably not have bought it. Maybe I would have changed my mind after I saw some reviews, seeing that people were like, oh, this is actually mustards with browns. That might have made me change my mind, because I really do love palettes like that. But part of me giving this a really nice grade is because it is a Star Wars palette. But I will say it is also a really nice palette, which is nice. You know, sometimes we buy makeup as merch because we really love what entity they're collabing with or the person that they're collabing with. But it's also really nice when it ends up being a good product as well. Like, it's not just decoration, it's actually a nice product as well. And that's how I feel about this one. Again, check the description box for more info. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. I will have a bonus video tomorrow as well, because we are going to talk about the new Nomad Cosmetics holiday release, and that's going to be tomorrow on Saturday. So I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye!